Alright, we got this update file. So this will just take a couple of minutes here.
Alright.
Charlie, we can never tell anyone about this, right?
That was amazing. Also, when the really fat guy barfed all over himself, I thought of the Bills fan.
I love kids, Charlie. Yeah, I can't believe they did a whole episode, though, with no Alan, no Glep, no Mr. Boss. Her name was Shrimpina, Pim.
She'd be a shrimp.
You know, I did think about that, but then I thought maybe it was like an ironic thing. And the Astros lost. Tonight ended up being a perfect night. And I was about ready to go to bed pissed off.
Nice.
I was just going to go to bed, wake up at midnight, do stuff, and then go back to bed. Oh, was Chocobo Racing? It's fine. I mean, it's certainly better than the original game. I didn't spend a ton of time on it yet. Because in the original game, there was actually a reason why you would spend 800 million years doing the Chocobo Racing. That's how you got Knights of the Round. Oh, wait a minute. I remember this. Okay, I remember what I was doing now. Okay, yeah, this fight is a pain in the ass because somebody here is reviving the other ones. I'm going to guess it's the sorcerer and try to kill him first. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to have to look this one up.
At least you tried. Fear me. There.
I don't know. It probably is Dota, but I don't know. I have no idea what they changed. I'm assuming they changed some stuff because they don't want the whole game to be very predictable.
I'm counting on you.
I have no idea how you get Knights of the Round because I don't have it yet. Hey, God damn it, why is the sorcerer always hiding? I want to kill the sorcerer.
You're mine.
Okay. Let's see if that actually worked or not.
Here goes. That's that.
Do you think the Panthers will finish it? They look like the much better team.
Now.
I'll put it to you like that. That's really the best I got for you, though.
Pick favored to win the series before it started, and a lot of people are the better team and everything. Across 2 games, the Panthers have scored 7 goals and the Oilers have scored 1.
Sorry. Gotcha.
So,
Let's end this.
this may be a
What a
wrap.
Watcher can do. Dinner time.
See ya!
We beat them.
Have you now?
Unless the Oilers have Dwayne Wade on their
They
team,
have
it's
let
probably
the rule
over.
pass on, and their rage remains unquenched.
Would be a legendary
keep
choke
pressing forward.
if the Panthers couldn't
We're
close.
very nearly there.
So, hooray, the good guy's winning for once.
Yeah, fuck Canada. Barrett, come back here. Fucker. Actually, there's a better way to do this, I think. Yes. That Charlie drug trip was animated really beautifully, I have to say.
Yeah.
There. How's this? Sorry.
Him injected this weird black stuff in himself. You didn't even ask him to do that.
There. How's this? Got him now. Going in. Here goes.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Eat this. Gotcha.
Yeah, I was prepared to go to bed pissed off. But now here I am, in no mood to go to bed whatsoever.
Now, lighten it up. Going in. Bleed.
Hope you don't mind if I fill you full of holes.
Going in. Coming at ya.
Yeah, man, it's the Furiosa thing you were telling me about. It's crazy because the movie is getting great reviews and virtually everyone who sees it really likes it. Like, nobody's saying this thing is bad or you shouldn't watch it. People are just that done with going to the cinema right now. It's crazy. Like, I saw it. The movie's really good. Virtually everyone who's seen it has positive things to say about it. And it's just like, people are not in the mood.
Yeah, it made less money than Morbius. There's no coming back from that one.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, if you guys haven't already done it, watch Smiling Friends. It's really good. There's a new episode that just came out today, and I think they have 2 more episodes this season. Unless they do the 9th joke episode again like they did last time.
Yeah, that one was unplanned. They did it just to be like, alright guys, fuck off.
This,
There
however,
you go.
was built to provide the Cetra with a means to commune with them.
Commune with them? Why would the Cetra do that? The Yi were the enemy.
Good and evil, friend and foe. Dichotomy is not set in stone, as mutable as the winds. But for now, Nanaki, Let us concentrate on the matter at hand, clearing a path to the truth.
That wasn't one too. You're the one who's out, Ump. And that's not just me saying that. Uh... Wait. Oh, I see. The stick goes here. Okay.
Sounds like crying.
As with good and evil, sorrow too assumes many forms. 45 years ago, a watcher fought his way here alone, and in his bravery took upon himself the burden of our hope. Mm-hmm. There's no need to dirty a bottle. So, the Florida Panthers winning the Stanley Cup this year is definitely is the definition of losing the war but winning the battle, but I imagine you'd still be pretty happy with it.
Wouldn't be miserable.
Better than a kick
Better
in the
than a poke in
groin.
the eye. But yeah, I would happily trade the Panthers being complete dog shit for like the next 80 years if the Celtics don't win the championship.
Mm-hmm.
Being
And that's
down
the truth.
0-2, it is truly brutal.
Well, let's remember the last time an NBA team looked dominant in the first 2 games of the finals, it was the 2021 Phoenix Suns.
But try to keep in mind.
No!
What is it?
Their ire manifests once more. Do not underestimate this foe.
Talk about an axe to grind.
Why the hell's this thing piston up?
Here goes!
Oh god, he absorbs my HP in massive chunks.
Guess it's my turn.
Damn, Barrett, you suck. Okay, how the hell am I gonna do this? This guy is strong.
Got a whole heap of lead, but you'll bring it home.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, this is gonna suck.
Don't count me out yet. Damn it! No going easy. Gotcha! Coming at you! Why, you?
Ingy, that's even worse.
Why, you? That was a good one. Not today. There.
Need my help, do you? Bring in the heat. Let's turn this around.
Coming at you. My turn?
Ah man, I barely know where to start with this fight. This is like an Elden Ring boss. Holy shit. Okay. Does not have any weaknesses. I suspected that. So the only thing I can do is try to stagger him.
Talk about an axe to grind.
How the hell's this thing?
Oh my god, it hits like a fucking truck. And then it does that.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. Hope you don't mind if I fill you full of holes.
There.
You got this.
Leave it to me. Gotcha.
Gotta love it.
Going in. Here goes. Gotta see this through.
Oh yeah, so it's next. I don't know if you watched the DSP video I sent you, but he basically said the same thing, more or less the same kinds of things about Doom that you kind of intimated. Although he flat out did not like Doom Eternal. He didn't think it was okay. He thought it was bad. But same basic idea.
Yeah, I think Doom Eternal is an alright game. You know, it's certainly fun. It's kind of just like, you know, you play it once and you need to touch it again. For me. But I think it was substantially worse than Doom 4.
Yeah, to me, Doom 2016 is borderline Pantheon.
And
oh yeah,
nobody
Dodo.
really gets into.
Go ahead.
Nobody really gets into Doom for the story. But I was really, really angry with Doom Eternal story because of the cowardice that it showed. They did almost everything that they possibly could to literally make the story as close to some kind of Christian mythology as they could conceivably imagine, without actually making it religious in any way, which I thought was extraordinarily fucking cowardly and dumb as fuck. This is like you literally decided you wanted to interpret a...
Lighten it up.
It's the first Doom game where you go to heaven and you see angels. A person named the Maker. And oh, it turns out that God was actually evil the whole time, because that's not the most fucking common millennial trope in fiction that you could possibly envision, is that God is secretly the bad guy and the devil's actually cool.
Fear me.
And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, they literally give you a fucking sword and you join an order of Templars to fight demons and Satan. And this is what you fucking do, is you're like, oh no, actually everyone's aliens.
Check out this shit right here. Oh, you in trouble.
I'm like, you're right there. Literally all you need to do is just say, okay, yeah, that's actually God, and yeah, you're actually in heaven and stuff.
Maybe this.
And you gotta fight the devil, because it's the devil. I mean, really? Just...
Going in. You're mine.
Like I said, it just strikes me as being extreme cowardice.
Gotcha. Here goes.
I'm sitting there thinking, you know, nobody's worried about offending those weirdos that call themselves modern-day pagans with the interpretation of the Norse pantheon and the God of War games.
Sorry.
You know, you don't fucking sit there and dance around the subject as much as you can.
Bear it.
I'm in. I'm coming.
Oh yeah, Dota. We've talked a lot about the Dragon Age thing. That's the most obvious flop ever. It's gonna be a fucking mess.
I don't think it's actually going to kill BioWare dead outright, because BioWare is still in the middle of developing Mass Effect 4. But what's going to happen is that they're pretty much going to run out of money.
Guess it's my turn.
And Mass Effect 4 is probably going to be a rushed mess, which is going to make Mass Effect 4 flop. And between the amount of money that they've invested in this Dragon Age game and the next Mass Effect game, in addition to those being two extremely important franchises for BioWare as a company, then when Mass Effect 4 flops because it was rushed, that'll do. BioWare will be closed by EA.
It'll be a devastating when that happens too, man. I'm gonna be so sad. I think the Gears of War game looks fine, Big Country. But I'm not like a super hardcore fan of that franchise. I went back and played the Gears of War games years after they were a thing. Because Gears of War was like a massive launch title for the 360, wasn't it?
Yes. It wasn't a launch title, but it was very important because it came out. It was the first serious game that came out on the 360. Because the 360 had been out for like a year at that point, I think, and most of the games that had come out were like flop, not all that good, and the big ticket was that it was like the first real game that was actually developed for the 360 instead of being developed for like the PS2 generation and then just got upscaled at the last minute. And it was supposed to be the first game that would really test the capabilities of the hardware. So like at the time when it came out, it was gorgeous and it was unquestionably the best looking game that had ever been made when it came out. Like PC or console, regardless. Because they were the first guys to come out using the new technology. But you see it a lot when you play the first Gears of War, that a lot of cutscenes, especially in the first half of the game, are literally just tech demos. But the whole purpose of the cutscene is just to show you, oh, look at how pretty that is. Like, this isn't gameplay. Walk very slowly as people are talking, instead of having a skippable cutscene where people do the talking. So that they can have you look, oh my god, look at how pretty this game is. Like, that aged like milk. Because, you know, here we are these years later, and it still looks good, but it's very quickly hit the point where it's not so much drastically better than anything else that you're like, oh my god, wow. Instead you're just like, oh.
Need my help, do you?
Gotta keep it together.
Enough already.
Coming at ya. Sorry.
And I personally think that doing a prequel lame as hell.
Gotcha.
Because
I'm not finished.
they still keep trying to do the games. You know, they had Gears of War 4 and 5, which was supposed to be about Marcus's kid. And it didn't do well because, you know, they blame a ton of different reasons. They're like, well, maybe this new one would do better if we bring back the characters people liked. So this is a prequel with Marcus and Dom. It's like, did you guys ever think that maybe people just are bored with the formula and the concept now?
Talk about an axe to grind.
Because that's an option too.
About damn time. Kiss my ass.
And I have no idea what to do against this fucking guy.
Here it comes. Give him hell.
Counting is sorry to put you
Yeah, I'll do it. You got this.
I'll give it my best shot. Bleed. There. Going in. Coming at you. How's this?
It is too bad that the old Doom formula is
Don't count me out
toast.
yet.
And there's no reason to believe they'll ever go back to it. Because that Doom 2016 game was special, I think.
Gotta see this through. Now, you're mine. Oh no.
Need my help, do you? Special delivery. Golden opportunity right here. I'm counting.
Don't worry about it. Sorry, coming at you.
Yeah, fighting this boss makes me feel like I'm playing Elden Ring.
Now, bleed. Never felt better. Sorry. Barrett.
I'm in. Asshole.
So, I saw a tweet earlier today. It had a picture of Mel Gibson, and it was like a 4chan green text. Make the most anti-Semitic movie ever. Accidentally say that Jews are responsible for all the wars in the world. During the age of Me Too and wokeness, somehow never gets canceled. How did he do it? And I was just thinking, like, dude, is this your first day on planet Earth or something?
Yes. That was obviously made by a Zoomer who was like 20 or younger. Because they weren't, the only experience they have with Mel Gibson is being able to see his filmography online. And they're like, oh, that's weird, where he just didn't make any movies for like 10 years, but okay. You know, it happens. Plenty of people do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how fucking stupid could you possibly... He didn't get canceled. Are you fucking retarded? Like, yes, he got canceled. He wasn't allowed to make any movies for like 10 years. The real tragedy is that because he said a bunch of completely correct things and they were mad that he, trying to alert people to how things are, not letting him make any movies. But what's the first movie he makes when he comes back and people are giving him a chance again? Hacksaw Ridge, which was a fucking smash hit, phenomenal movie.
Let's end this.
Yeah, that's a fantastic.
Really, guys? How many potentially amazing all-time great films did we miss out on because Mel Gibson wasn't allowed to make any movies? Nobody wanted to touch him. Meanwhile, guy's pretty much the most competent filmmaker that you can imagine in modern day Hollywood.
It's kind of amazing.
All the people who are left and still making shit, then yeah.
It's kind of amazing that someone who started out the way that he did as somebody who was an actor for, like, action movies became such a good director. Like, he is genuinely really talented.
That was a good one.
He understands story structure.
Oh, my nipples, they hurt. They hurt when I twist them.
Exactly. Also, and this was a big one too, you see it a lot, especially nowadays. Filmmakers really struggle with taste.
Here goes. Going in. And that's
So for Mel Gibson to intuitively be
sorry.
extraordinary at that,
End of the line.
that's really a gift.
Yeah, Santi, I don't feel too strongly about that, personally. I think that if they got a new VA to do Snake, it would have been fine. And if they've decided to not and do what they've done, where they're just using the old voice clips, that's fine too. I don't really feel like either way would be bad. Like, David Hayter's iconic, but,
Now, end of the line. You're mine.
he obviously can't do it anymore. I'd be fine if they wanted to get somebody else, but they decided not to, and I think it's, fine.
There must be a way to stop him.
Yeah. I'm not concerned about Snake's voice either. I'm one of the few people who say that Phantom Pain is my favorite Metal Gear game.
Yeah, that's an excellent
So a
game.
lot of the people who complain about stuff like that are people who hate the Phantom Pain. Because they are Kojima fans first, and not fans of anything else. They're just fans of Kojima.
Mm-hmm.
So they love Metal Gear Solid for the story, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I like Metal Gear Solid because it's a video game, and I like playing a video game, and I want to have a fun video game to play. So as long as the game plays fine, I don't fucking care. So when they did the trailer, I was stoked, because it looked like, oh yeah, we're going to remake Metal Gear Solid 3, and we're going to have it play like Metal Gear Solid 5. I was like, sign me the fuck up. I'm happy with that.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
I don't care. I don't care if they get fucking, like, some absolute clown to do the voice instead. I don't care if they gender bend me. I don't fucking care. Like, it looks like it's gonna play great. The story, in my opinion, and this is where I really, break off with a lot of Metal Gear fans, I never thought the story was all that amazing in the first place. Because there's a lot of really wacky and weird shit, which just makes me feel weird. And I really don't like it. Because I feel like I'm watching somebody else who's acting out their own fetish. And Death Stranding showed us all that I was completely correct and I felt that way. All those years ago. That Kojima completely unrestrained, that's what he meant the games are making. But, you know, there's plenty about the story to like. There's plenty about the story which is very innovative and interesting. And there's also plenty about the story which is just recycled shit that other people had the same ideas but better. And he's just ripping them off. Because like a lot of people talk about how prescient Metal Gear Solid 2 was, all the different things that were said. And it's all like, yeah, and that's true, you know, it's great and all that, but you ripped a lot of that off of Deus Ex, so. And they did it like 7 or 8 years earlier.
No, that's not true. Deus Ex came out in like 99 and Metal Gear Solid 2 came out in 2001.
Okay, I was misremembering, because I thought Metal Gear Solid 2 came out in like 2004, and I was thinking Deus Ex was 96.
Snake Eater was 04, I remember, because 04 is like the greatest gaming year ever for me.
Fair enough. I misremember this stuff because it was like 30 years ago. I am too damn old. But anyway, yeah, the point is, like, a lot of people being concerned about things, but being concerned about the wrong things, I think. But I'm just worried that the game's gonna play like shit. Because if the only thing you care about is the story in a remake, then just play the fucking original, or watch a playthrough on YouTube. If the only thing you care about is the cutscenes and the story of a 20-year-old game, are you kidding?
Yeah, I personally
I want to know how it plays.
I have mixed feelings about the story of Snake Eater. It's certainly put together very elegantly, but it's also simplistic to the point where I feel like it's not as bold as some of the other games in the franchise, so I don't know how to feel about it.
I have a similar complaint, yeah. It's like, it feels like they came up with the idea for the game first, and then wrote a story around that idea, which is fine, because they made a good game, and when Snake Eater came out, it was fun. But it feels like they were like, wait a minute, what if we did like a prequel where you just play Metal Gear Solid, like actually during the Cold War, and you get to play as Big Boss, and all that kind of stuff, and it could be like constant, non-stop James Bond references.
Yeah,
Fine.
exactly.
But 20 years later, you're like, this isn't the fucking masterpiece that you guys are painting it up to be. This isn't this ain't the usual suspect here, like.
Yeah, like, there's that one part near the climax of Snake Eater where you're having this very long conversation with Volman, and he actually says verbatim, I will explain my plan to you before I kill you. And it's obviously making fun of Bond, but at a certain point, you're not making fun of the thing you're making fun of, you are the thing that you're making fun of. Right?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. Yeah, pretty much like anything to do with Volgan. And funnily enough, Volgan coming back was my least favorite part of Metal Gear Solid 5, because I always felt that, like, Psycho Mantis, and again, that's another person who came back, like, he was basically like a joke character, because first of all, you have, for pretty much everyone else in this world, it's actually somewhat grounded in reality, at the very least, in terms of like like a spec ops group, you know, a bunch of guys who are borderline spooks, like a mix between spies and Navy SEALs kind of shit. They're all really strong commandos and everything okay. You know, the furthest that they go in terms of crazy fantasy is like, they're the mooks and the henchmen that they fight in the first game is clones. You know, that's one thing. But then along comes Psycho Mantis, who is psychic and telekinesis, and he just floats, he throws shit at you with his mind, and then they do that stuff where they read your memory card. Like, that was fun, gimmicky stuff, because it was a video game that came out in the 90s. but that's really fucking black. But even still, Psycho Mantis, to me, I was like, Psycho Mantis is a better character than Volgin. Because Volgin, like you said, is a parody of all these different Bond characters, but at the same time, he advances well beyond what he's making fun of, and now has become the thing he's making fun of. He's boring. I think his power is stupid, and the whole weird fucking homo thing that he had with the guy that Snake disguised himself as.
Right, Denabot,
and that's how
bitch
Snake
or whatever. Yeah.
Right, and Snake gets discovered because Volgin gropes his gong. I'm like, oh. Like, why the fuck did you think that was okay? Because I'm sitting there like, this is still the age when I play video games with my dad. And I'm like, do you have any idea how uncomfortable that was?
Ready?
Good God. Why? Sitting there like, fuck, I wish I had more money back. But, just, ugh. Terrible. And because of that, Snake Eater was super weak as a game to me. Like, I love Peace Walker way more than Snake Eater as far as the story goes and the characters go. So, you know, if they're going to be remaking Snake Eater, I'm like, I don't care who does the voices of whatever. I don't care if they make changes to the story. I don't care how any of these characters look. Like, everyone's freaking out over, oh no, they uglied up the boss. And I'm like, I don't really agree with that because, number one, for the scene that she's supposed to be reenacting, or that was in the trailer, that pretty much she looks exactly the same. Number two, she looks more weathered because the technology is better. And given the circumstances, that's kind of exactly what you'd expect to see the boss looking like. You know, she's like in her 40s. She's a very weathered and tired commando, been killing people for like 20 years. And she's just exhausted. Not physically, but spiritually and with life. And it shows in her face. Plus, she knows that she's there for Snake to kill her, and her plan was for Snake to kill her.
Sure have.
So at the very least, she's also, on top of everything else, the person who's got a death wish and is fucking walking towards their own impending doom. All that being the case, I don't think that she'd be looking her best. And everyone's like, oh, they uglied her up. And I'm like, all you saw was the face shot. You know, like... And you're gonna complain about how they uglied her up? I'm like, we haven't seen the outfit that she wears in the final boss fight. We haven't seen, because she had for like, she had a way bigger rack than what's her face?
Ava?
Yeah. The boss had a way bigger rack than her. The outfit she was wearing in the final battle actually accentuated her figure. She's got her hair in the trailer, she's got her hair covered up by a bandana to look more reminiscent of Snake. But she had a long flowing braid, you know, in other scenes in the original. Like, they were doing all those things to show you that she was a woman, because the technology was not good enough to be able to really show you that on its own. So they had to kind of accentuate those features to make, oh look, the boss is a woman. So I'm like, I don't think they intentionally uglied her up, because that you can't make that kind of a decision based off of one singular scene that you see in the trailer. The jury's still out on that, but I'm still sitting here like, I don't care. If they did, why the fuck would I care? If they made everybody uglier for whatever reason, I don't fucking care. I just care how the game plays. And if it plays great, awesome. Can't wait to play it. If it doesn't, fuck. I'm not even gonna watch a playthrough of this shit. Because it's the same game I played 20 fucking years ago. I don't need to see it again.
To this very day.
Wait. Is
The RE4 remake's a great example. They made some changes, and those changes were very interesting. It made the gameplay more,
There's no way.
it
The
was different
poisoned
from the
arrows
original.
of the key transformed
And
his
they switched
body
some
into
things around,
stone.
including a lot
And
relating to
there he
Ashley's
has stood
character,
ever
not just the way that
since,
she looked, but the
his
way that she
watch
acted
eternal.
and what she did in the game. So even though the game was a remake, the story was the same. The game played very differently from the game that you played 20 years ago. There was
Oh
a
yeah,
reason to play it.
100%. Oh shit! 1 second. I gotta run ads. I'll be right back, everybody. We'll continue this in a moment.
Room.
All right, we are back. Yes, flip side, the job market sucks a big one right now. Can't find much of anything.
Our
That's putting
savior.
it lightly.
What about my mom? Did she know what had happened to him?
Hey, but remember, kids, vote
Oh.
Democrat in November because,
Why,
you
of
know,
course he did.
God forbid Rosie O'Donnell gets called fat on Twitter.
It was, after all,
Her feelings are
she
worth your
and
family's
Stedman
misery.
who asked me to see her off the cave.
Well,
But why? Why
you
did
have
she
to
never
remember
tell me the
that
truth?
Twitter
Because she knew that
is
if
dead
she
naming.
did, you would attempt to seek your father out all by yourself. Your parents
You
strove
thought
to
about any
keep our
side
veil
gigs?
safe.
You're participating
But
in
there is
one right
thing
now.
They fought even harder to protect.
I kind of, yeah, YouTube's already my side
you, Nanaki, their son.
gig.
She was afraid because I was too small and weak.
Back then, perhaps, but not anymore. Heavens no. You've become a fine warrior in your own right. And that is precisely why I brought you here.
But anyway, as far as the gameplay goes, from the trailers that we've seen from Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, it looks great. I can't wait to play it. It looks like it almost feels like a sequel to Peaceful and Pain. Not story-wise the sequel, but game-wise the sequel.
I dismissed them outright. No more than
So I'm super happy about that. Like, watching the gameplay looked great. And you go on Twitter and all anyone's talking about is the boss looked ugly, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I didn't care if she had a full beard if the game played alright, because I'm skipping all these fucking cutscenes anyway, are you kidding? I watched these fucking cutscenes 20 fucking years ago. Plus I watch Outer Heaven Network on Twitch, like, anytime they do 5-day long marathon, all Metal Gear Solid games in order. So I'm like, I've seen enough of these fucking cutscenes to be able to quote them from memory. You know, I don't need to watch them again. Right.
Go forth and in my stead seek the great truths of our world.
I do need to play Metal Gear Solid 4 again. That's one I only played once, and I feel bad about that because it's an excellent game.
Look after him for me.
Don't worry. We will.
And I guess I only played Peace Walker once as well.
The way I feel about it is I believe that they're doing a Snake Eater remake because Snake Eater, by sales alone, is the most popular Metal Gear Solid game of all time. There's really no way around it. It's Snake Eater is the defining Metal Gear game. Regardless of any of its flaws and any legitimate complaints that you may have about it as far as the community goes, Snake Eater's their favorite one. So with the games industry being in the shape that it's in, yeah, I think that it makes perfect sense that they would do a Snake Eater remake because it's the most safe bet that they'll actually see a return on their investment, that they'll actually make a profit. But if it does super amazingly well, I would expect that they would start to remake other games in the franchise also. It's sort of like how the Resident Evil 2 remake took like 15 years after the Resident Evil 1 remake came out for them to actually remake Resident Evil 2. And when they did, they were using a new engine and they were kind of testing the waters. The game sold like gangbusters, everybody loved it. But then before you know it, they're pumping out 3, 4, probably working on 5 right now.
Oh, brave and noble Seto.
And they've done all of those remakes that they're in the process of making in the same time that it took them to release one Resident Evil 8.
I will say this, for as much as I do think there are things about 3 that should be criticized, and while it is my least favorite of the 5 games in the main series, that ending is fantastic and brings everything together in a really special way, I think.
Yeah.
Come with me.
It's basically like the reverse Phantom game, where it drags a lot, very slow to start. It doesn't feel like it's going anywhere, but then once you finally start the ending sequence, it finishes insanely strong. Opposed to Phantom Pain, which is amazing from the start, always feels like you're going in a good direction until you get to the point where they rushed it out the door because Kojima was taking too long and spending too much of Konami's money. And they said, shit, we gotta ship this fucking thing or it's never coming out. And then you're just like, I have no idea what the hell's going on. But like, they really fumbled the bag. It happens. I'm watching an IGN video, came out 11 hours ago, official game overview for Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Remake, featuring David Hayter,
Can anyone
where
explain
David
to me
Hayter
why
just
we're even
narrates the
taking this
video.
detour? Anyone?
And he says,
Some of us are on a mission
and
to
this is
secure the
really,
material we
really
need
big
to,
here,
you know, save our homeland.
the cutscenes are a shot-for-shot, one-to-one recreation
I don't
of the
know.
original,
This
but with the
E-dude's
new
too
engine.
nice to freak me out.
He may act nice, but who knows what he's planning. Stay alert.
So, you know, for fans who wanted that kind of thing, that's good for them, but it just reinforces my point. I'm gonna skip every cutscene. There's nothing new.
Yeah, that's the part of
There's
the game
nothing
they
new to
probably
see.
shouldn't fuck with, because while I feel like 3
The
played
key
things
lies
very
beyond.
safe compared to 2, and 2 not playing it safe is what I loved about it.
Now let us begin our journey.
I do think
Not
that
so fast. What's in it for us? Unless it's
what they put
materia,
together was
you can
so
count me out.
elegantly done.
How strange you should mention
They should
materia.
stick with it as much
My
as humanly
people
possible.
are also in search of it.
Yeah, which is fine, and I agree with, but it just reinforces
Okay,
my
all
point
aboard.
that if you're going to complain about the way that the boss looks in these cutscenes, I'm like, then just watch the cutscenes from the original game, because you're not going to see anything new other than just the way that they look. If you don't like how the characters
Stayed
look,
longer
just
if I
skip the
could,
cutscene.
but I'll be back soon. I promise.
Yeah. As much as the boss fights in Snake Eater are iconic, I do have to admit, like, the lack of depth of those characters, the bosses,
I'm gonna
is
Maybe try swaying
always
with
something
the
that
rocking of
bothers
the
me.
boat.
They're like Pokemon almost.
Let him move less, not more.
Didn't seem to mind when you jumped
Yeah,
aboard.
and that's the thing, is that so many of
Only
them,
'cause you
it
mentioned
was just Kojima
materia.
stuff of like, oh, it'd be
Be
neat if.
quiet.
Which again
The
is fine,
planet is
because 20
listening.
years ago, hey, that's okay. Like,
And what's
if
wrong
you
with that?
wait a week
Anything that reaches
between
the
when you start the boss
Planeteers
fight with
in due time reaches
the
those
really
of
old
the
guy,
Cetra.
if you wait a real-time week
Unfortunately,
before you load
the
back into the
Cetra
game,
are not a
and you load back into the game, he
people.
died of old age
Excuse me, am I intolerant
from waiting.
too?
That's funny.
I'm Cetra.
Also, if you use not really an exploit, but you use your
You are
knowledge
indeed
of the
one of
future
them.
to know
By
where
lineage alone.
that guy's going to be, you can kill him before your boss fight actually
Yeah.
starts. And
You know
when he
not of
dies, he
their
explodes
history.
and his wheelchair fucking
That
hits
has
you.
been
And then you have a
lost to
radio
time.
conversation with Zero, where you're like, I really wanted to
History?
fight him. I wanted to meet him in mutual combat and
Consider
test my
your
skills against
ignorance
him.
a
And Zero's like,
blessing.
are you fucking
The
retarded?
Cetra's
This isn't a
past
game.
is fraught with horror and sorrow.
There are lives at stake, Snake. And I'm like, I like that. I like that. But 20 years later, the novelty's worn
So
off.
there I am, on the ground, bleeding out,
Beyond
watching
that,
everything go dark.
what actually makes the boss
Thinking,
fight interesting? What
this is
actually
it.
makes the character
This
interesting?
is how it
Nothing.
ends. Only, it isn't. Suddenly, the wind picks up out of nowhere. It tugs at me so hard, it feels like it's tearing my soul right out of my body. Next thing I know, I'm back in the orphanage. But nobody can tell me who found me or how I got there. It's a miracle.
And
Sounds
yeah,
like what
watching in
happened
the
to
video,
me.
they got 2 camera types. You could use the
Whole
legacy
freaking army
camera,
unloading
where
on my
it
position.
plays exactly like the original did, or the new camera, where it just plays like
I'm feeling every
Metal
single
Gear Solid
pulse.
5. So I'm like, hey, I'm pleased as punch. Can't wait for it. Gonna skip all the cutscenes. But I'm gonna play this one and enjoy it. And that's the only thing that matters. So like, I just don't understand why
then
people are complaining about the
wind starts
stupidest
blowing.
thing.
1 minute, I'm outnumbered. And the next, I'm alone.
None of it makes any sense. I somehow managed to beat the odds and wake up here, alone. Why in the hell did fate pick me?
Can't think that way.
Can't not think that way. Their luck runs out, but mine doesn't. I'm the only one who gets a pass. And now that it's just me,
Are you happy
what
with
am
the
I supposed
additions
to
they
do?
made? I mean, I wish they were traditional RPGs, because
Yeah.
I think Square is just barking up the wrong tree there. But I think the games that they've created are very good, so I can live with it. I'm willing to meet games on their own
come with me.
terms.
Sure.
I think that's a
but
mistake
why?
that some people make when they play games or watch movies or
Oh,
watch
we
TV
explain
shows
on
or
the
do
way.
anything. They want the show or movie or game to be what they want it to be, rather than trying to accept the form of entertainment on its terms. Like,
So-
there was an amateur film reviewer who I used to watch on YouTube. He's long since retired. He never got big, but he was, kind of like a offshoot of the Nostalgia Critic and Angry Video Game Nerd type of reviewers. And he used to really, really hate the Marvel movies because he just thought they were stupid. He didn't understand why they all needed to connect with each other. He didn't understand why they felt like they needed to have this conjoined universe. He didn't understand why they would make a they want to make an Avengers movie, but they have to make like 5 different movies before it so they can introduce all the characters one by one. He's like, that is such a fucking waste of time. I fucking hate it so much. It'd be like if before they made the fucking Star Trek reboot movie, they had one movie to introduce Kirk, and then another movie to introduce Chekhov, and then and it's like, and then eventually he was like, you know what? I should accept that they're doing things that way and try to judge the movie on whether or not it's entertaining and not whether or not it's doing what
How's
I would
Cloud
want it
holding
to
up?
do. And
Marco
once he
boys
did
think
that,
he's
he
a
started
real
actually
number on
liking it, more or
Thought he's
less.
in for a speedy recovery either.
At least some
Yeah.
of it.
Hey, hope springs eternal.
Right.
I can appreciate that.
If he does recover, you can bet your ass he'll act like it was nothing. Shrug it off.
Like
and
the first
say
time he
there's
watched
10
Endgame, he
times that
fucking
shit.
hated
Are
it,
we
but
talking about the
he
same
was
Cloud?
trying to
Come on.
understand it. He was
Guy's
really
desperate to
trying to
prove
like
himself.
Not like he needs
figure
to.
out what it was doing.
Everyone
And
knows he's a
I
bona fide
was talking to
badass.
him one time and I pointed out, like, if you watched a movie like
why don't you
Endgame
try
in the
picking up some
mindset
work
that you
as a
were in
merc?
7 years ago, you would have
Jack
just
of
been
all
like, this is
trades.
stupid, and you would have been done with it.
Because one's not enough.
I'll think about it.
And then eventually he ended up coming around on Endgame, and he actually thinks it's pretty good. But the point is, he actually tried. He didn't just go like, oh, this is dumb because,
Get a load of this.
oh, Thor hit Iron Man with his hammer, and Thor's a god and Iron Man's a human, so that hammer should have smashed him into a million
The
pieces, but he's
destruction
still
of
alive.
Sector
This
7
is
was
stupid.
orchestrated by Shinra themselves. We can't let those murderers get away with it.
Obviously, Iron Man made his
People
suit out of
Midgar
unobtainium.
Fight back against our corporate oppressors by joining Avalanche. Seek us out.
Yeah,
at the
no,
line
I
off
get
Meadow
it.
Lane.
And like, I
Wow, that's
didn't like
bold.
Endgame
Yep.
because it used a time
These guys
travel
are setting a
slop
trap
plot.
for themselves.
I
Shinra
fucking
will just
hate
roll in
time
and round 'em
travel
all up.
in
Doubt
movies.
public security
It's
will
always
even
some
bother
fucking-
going through the motions. Easier just to
What's
shoot
an example of a
Alright,
movie that you
experience.
think has
Then
used time travel
Anyone
well?
who goes is
An idiot, I know. But idiots are what we need right now. Folks,
Terminator?
risk it all.
The first 2 Terminator movies. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wait! Don't tell me you're going.
What about
The
something
things
like
I
Back
do
to the
for
Future?
friends.
Kinda wonder how that rift looks to all the folks topside.
Only the first one.
I mean, that's a movie where time travel is the whole
Hey,
story. Like, if there was no
you ever
time travel in
wondered
that
about
movie,
your
there would
purpose in
literally
life?
be no movie.
What you're doing here?
Sure, from time to time. Or all the time.
Would never have guessed.
Didn't used to, but things changed. Went through a lot after I joined Shinra, like, a lot.
I bet. I ask because ever since I woke up, I've been wondering about what to do with all this time I've been given.
Hey, Biggs.
And like many, many years ago, I remember watching one amateur film critic on, I think it was actually
You said
Facebook at the
before I oughta
time,
try
who
picking up
was
some work
relatively
as a
critical
merc.
of The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
He didn't like it very much.
'Cause
He was
one's
talking
good
about it, and he
enough.
was basically
So who's the
like, I don't feel like I'm watching a
Loud.
Batman
He
movie.
didn't
I just
tell
feel
you?
like I'm watching a detective
Must not have
movie
wanted
that
the
Batman
competition.
is in.
When exactly did you meet
And,
Cloud?
you know, that's
The
a thing
day
where it's
before we hit
like,
Reactor 1.
that's you
So,
wanting a particular thing out of the
how
movie.
Largo was
It's
that
not a
again?
criticism of the movie.
Weird. My internal
Like, I'm
clock's
sure
busted.
Nolan would agree. He
Yeah,
decided to
mine
turn
too.
his Batman
What's that about,
movie,
anyway?
The Dark Knight, into a detective movie
question.
in some regards.
So, what do you think's
But
gonna
that
happen
doesn't
to our
make the
baby?
movie bad.
We've got freebies galore, folks.
It's like Batman and Robin isn't bad because it's trying to be schlocky.
I
It's
think I
bad
prefer
because
being
it's
number
bad
2 or 3.
schlock.
Suits me much better.
Yeah.
Why don't we all go camping?
Like the guy who only has to worry about the how. And doesn't
Like
have to decide
the
on the what.
Batman movie they
A
made in the
minor role?
1960s is schlock, but it's
Exactly.
I'm
good.
the hero. So how come I was the one who got saved?
'Cause someone needs you. You and your can-do attitude.
And who might that be?
You were the guy with Aaron.
Whoever brought you back, I guess?
What do you guys
And assuming
think's
there
gonna
was
happen to
someone?
us?
Who could it have been?
That's a good question.
Hell with it. Let's just do what we want. Start by robbing folks and stocking up on kills.
It's just up ahead. Keep your eyes peeled.
Copy.
But going back to the Mel Gibson conversation, like, he got
Nobody, huh?
canceled so hard they didn't even let him
Not a
return to voice
soul.
the fucking rooster
Well,
in Chicken
at
Run.
least Shinra was a no-show too,
They
right?
recast him in fucking Chicken Run.
Who's there?
For real.
Huh. New recruit?
As if I'd ever join Avalanche. I just came to see what kind of morons would fall for your dumbass propaganda, that's all. But I should have known. Nobody could be that stupid. Anyway, I'm out, losers.
I told you I wasn't cut out for a leading role. And here I thought I might have been saved for a reason. Some higher purpose. Sorry for wasting your time.
You know, this is actually a very good point. I never really thought about it like this.
Biggs! It's up to us to find our own purpose. I mean, who says it's gotta be one way? Everyone's sitting back, acting like the world's doomed, but the future's not set in stone. We're not powerless. So long as we don't lose sight of what's important. You know, what matters most of all when the going gets tough. I don't know, hopes, dreams, maybe? Something like that. So long as we've got those. And hold on tight and never
Oh,
let
that's
go.
outstanding.
Like this?
Like your life depends on
Well,
it.
one is a tragedy, but a million is a
The
statistic.
world's lucky to have you. It's a start. Anyway, I gotta run. I'll be sure to pay a visit to Cloud when I get the chance.
See ya. Think about
I'm
what
going
I
over,
said.
brother. The guy on Twitter, he's telling a story
Guess I
about
should
his
probably head
4-year-old
home,
son
too.
did something that pissed him off. Because he was just acting like a 4-year-old.
Home.
And he's all like, my boy, he made me so mad. So this guy responds, he says, it's time to show that boy what a standing suplex looks like. And I said, dropping the leg on your son to teach him a lesson. I posted a GIF of Hulk Hogan dropping his leg.
Come on, LeBron. You ain't so tough.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
I'm back.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Guess who I just saw? Biggs.
Really?
Said he'd visit, too.
Oh, yay! Did he say anything about Daddy or Tifa?
Oh, sorry. Forgot to ask.
Aww.
Zach, would you mind checking on Aerith for me?
Sure.
We're all headed for the same place. You'll see your daddy and Tifa again.
Soon?
Soon enough, Marlene. Soon enough.
It's me. The wind. That was you, wasn't it? Hello in there.
What?
We've arrived.
Still standing.
Do you agree that it was a mistake for Doom to go the direction that it did in terms of like the medieval like feel and the medieval like environment?
Yeah, I have no earthly idea what the fuck they're thinking there, but I got no fucking clue.
Like they should have just stayed as a space marine shooting demons in hell.
Right. That aspect, like obviously the game's not gonna. It's probably gonna sell a lot. It's not gonna sell as much as Eternal, so they're gonna take the wrong lessons from that. Because of course Eternal sold amazingly well. It came out when COVID happened. But yeah, I think horrible idea. Horrible idea. I have no idea why they would do that.
Because I was watching Darkside Phil stream the Xbox event, and when the trailer started for the Doom game, at first he was like, oh, is this Elder Scrolls? Because it looks like Elder Scrolls because it's medieval and gothic in its style and architecture.
Then it just kept getting progressively worse, and they was like, make it stop.
Elder Scrolls 6 trailer would have been pretty hype. That would have been nice.
Welcome to our domain, children of the planet.
Y'all hear that just now?
I can't believe they're actually doing the Starfield DLC, and I liked Starfield. I was fine with Starfield, but nobody's playing it anymore.
Outsiders such as we are unwelcome.
And the game was set up to be a time loop, so you could play it theoretically over and over and over again.
I feel for you.
Just within, you know, a single game file. It was set up to basically go on forever, and nobody
within these effigies.
not a single person is actually
I beseech you,
following through
lend them your ears.
on that.
Long has it been since they have had.
What can you
audience.
say? Kings of Slop.
They're not bound to the planet, and so she rejects them.
Because you have to come from the life stream to return to it.
Which means these dudes can't die, right? They're invincible!
I'm not sure that's something to celebrate. Being stuck as spirits with no hope of release sounds like a fate worse than death.
As if you know anything about
You've probably already
dying.
seen this clip before, but yeah.
I mean, are you even really alive?
Yes, yes I have.
Another stuck spirit.
Black
perhaps?
people are very angry.
She made another TikTok saying she's not sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
You and
this,
me both.
it took a long time for us to get there, but I think people have finally learned the lesson. That the only people you should ever apologize to are people whose opinion you actually give a shit about. You know, because otherwise if you're apologizing, the only thing that you're telling these jackals is that you feel that you've done something wrong, so you're just legitimizing the way that they treat you.
Or if you're Mr. Frog.
Yeah. So if you just have like no reason whatsoever to care about what these people think, and you're like, you know what, if all of you died tomorrow, I wouldn't lose a second of sleep. If you feel that way, then never apologize, no matter what you do. There's no point to it.
Cast out from the cycle of life and death into purgatory eternal. We shall not rest till the materia is ours. We shall not rest till the materia is ours.
Too easy. I've got to do something.
This'll help.
Good luck. It's your turn.
Can I pull your hair?
Wait, stop it!
Oh my god, that is fucking annoying.
I tried.
Hey, David. So, according to this, the White Sox are having a pitcher go tomorrow that has not pitched at all this season. Literally his first game of the year.
He's gonna throw a no-hitter. Call it now.
There's no rule why they can't.
Don't overdo it.
Jared Cogan. That's right. You're gonna
I wasn't even paying attention. There's already been a no-hitter this season.
No hitters are kind of common right now. Offense is down in the MLB at the moment. I don't even think that's really that uncommon a thing.
Most recent no-hitter was thrown by Ronel Blanco of the Astros against the Blue Jays on April 1st.
Yeah, I remember that.
Bro, it was on April 1st. Imagine being an Astros fan. Yo, we threw a no-hitter tonight.
For you.
Oh yeah, nice joke.
I got it. Here goes. It's your turn.
That's nice.
You got
You're out of luck.
Last year. For the season before that.
I think the Mariners got no hit twice in one season a couple years ago. So that season there was probably quite a few because there were some other teams that were awful offensively.
It's already been 3 years since the first Padres no-hitter.
Thus did
It
we
was
resolve
yesterday.
to forge our own path to salvation.
With materia, you mean?
We long to lay hands on the materia of peace.
Every franchise in baseball has at least one no-hitter that they've thrown and at least 2 no-hitters thrown against. The team that gets humiliated the most often is the Phillies. 21 no-hitters against all time.
That might be because I think the Phillies have played more games than any other team because they've been around forever and carry squad.
Yes, because in second place is the Dodgers, who have also been around forever.
Ain't dead yet. Won't last long.
And then if you look at it, expansion franchises that are maybe not getting no-hit and shit.
Do it!
quicker.
So one of the teams that basically took the longest in terms of how long they've been around and could have thrown one before getting one was actually the Padres. Were the last team to actually need a no-hitter. So it was special.
Kept you waiting?
Great. Going in. Not looking good. Let's try that again. You're up.
Got you.
Not bad.
I'll take care of them.
I'll end this.
Can you take over for
Take
me?
it over.
You're up. No way. What the? Okay, let's go. Go on. Bingo.
Here you go.
Watch yourself. I'm coming. Tagging out.
Any last words?
Pain in the balls.
Okay, Shinji.
He was on the
said this figurine will. Sorry.
Rivas was on the taxi squad because Dylan Moore was out for paternity reasons. I guess his wife was giving birth tonight or something. So Rivas made the team for one day, at least. Okay, go ahead.
And Oscar's like, this figurine will be a reminder of how to not be a disappointing father. I was like, where the fuck did that come from? Jesus.
I don't really want this. Okay, can I have it? I mean, I gave it to you, so like you can do whatever you want with it. I like how Alan isn't even angry that he got such a shitty reward for working so hard. He's just like, eh.
I just wanted my cheese. Yeah. And Charlie started doing Our Father when that alien was coming at him. That's... It was funny because for some reason a bunch of people on Reddit, they were like, why did Charlie start doing that? What the fuck? It's like they're obviously Rick and Morty tourists. So it's all like, guys, you realize that Zach is Christian, and his character Charlie, which is basically just Zach in cartoon form, is
I think he's Catholic, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, he said that he was Catholic, in the Mr. Frog episode. This is the second episode of the series. When he's in the hot tub, he's wearing a cross.
Yeah. Just because they haven't felt the need to make a big deal out of it doesn't change the fact that it's part of his character.
I seen the devil. And you know, after the Christmas episode, he would just have to be retarded to not be like way more intense with his faith. That's why when he was wearing the Van Helsing outfit, he had a bunch of crucifixes everywhere, like... These fucking Rick and Morty tourists. Why is he praying? Or atheism, there's broken containment.
Yeah, it's got to be the most important adult animated show since at least BoJack, I think. And I think BoJack was important for some not so good reasons, but I know that a lot of people love that show, so... And it was important to adult animation, even if I personally don't think it was for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Think we probably don't want to overstay our welcome here.
I'm not a fan of BoJack either. When it comes to adult animation, I prefer the kinds that they may deal with topics that don't get brought up in animation aimed at children. But just because it's quote-unquote adult animation doesn't mean that they need to be, you know, it doesn't need to be the same slop over and over and over again, which they commonly fall into the same trap all the time, where they're like, that means we need to use as many cuss words as possible. It's like, what this makes me think of is like comic books in the 80s versus comic books now, where censorship was really, really big back in the 80s. So in order to get ideas across, because the demand was for very gritty and very pulpy kind of content, they had to be very creative to get around the censorship.
Mm-hmm.
And that creativity created amazing moments. As opposed to now, where no one is censoring anything, and it just results in the lowest common denominator over and over again. Which inevitably results in the quality of the art dropping substantially. Bad for everybody.
And obviously Rick and Morty was a very important show that became so popular for a while there. But
that materia
the
is,
thing is, I
we
feel like
can't
Rick
let
and
them have
Morty
it.
just continued the trend that was already
matter
there,
how much
whereas
they want
Smiling
it.
Friends is a reversal
Don't know how far
of
we
that
can let
trend.
this go, but for now we play along.
Yeah. Plus, it's not. They're not in the situation that a lot of other folks might be, where they're trying something new. Because thanks to the fact they've been doing Oni plays for like 10 years or more, this is they basically they're already pros at what they're doing. They just got given a huge budget.
Yeah, apparently the budget for season 1 was $2 million, which is equal to one episode of Family Guy. So
that's a lot of scratch.
Shook, seas boiled, skies shattered, and time stopped. Few of my people survived.
I feel like they'll have the show for as long as they want to be doing it. Because Adult Swim considers it a win if they're not even getting 1 million views per episode. You know, if you only have like 700,000 people watching per episode, you're basically the most popular program that they have. So like, this is an absolute win. You guys have a job for life. Dude, you don't.
yeah, it's kind of like how Better Call Saul didn't have big viewership, but AMC was going to keep it around no matter what, because it was good for its reputation to have a show like that airing. And they also have nothing else to show other than shitty Walking Dead spin-offs.
I have you covered.
Yeah.
Just hang on. I'm coming. Come on. Gotcha. There. Come on. Wait. Seriously?
Unreal.
So, in the first season, Smiling Friends was airing at 1:30 a.m. and they were getting 200,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
Which was like, holy shit.
The star we called home.
Plus, they got a ton more people watching on
The earth shook,
streaming.
seas boiled, skies shattered, and time
Smiling Friends is currently the 5th most watched show on Adult Swim on their TV broadcast, but it's the most popular show that they have on streaming, because on Mac, Smiling Friends broke the top 10 of anything. TV shows, movies, everything. They weren't just top 10, but when they first started putting the season 3 episodes on Mac, it was the #1 most watched anything on Mac for about 5 years. So that was pretty big time. Yeah, they pretty much got the job for life now. There's no way Adult Swim's letting them go. Especially if Rick and Morty continues to not only slide in quality, but like be listless after they got rid of the guy who made the fucking thing and voiced half the cast.
Do it!
Let me at him.
It's over. Bet that hurt.
And there's...
They're also in the rare position where...
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, they're in the rare position, not a lot of people get the opportunity to do this. They can actually double dip. Because the show is basically just animated Oni plays. It's increased a lot of interest in their YouTube channel. All of a sudden they got a ton more views. So they get the YouTube money is like tripled, plus they're getting paid by Adult Swim and Mac for the show that they make.
Those not born of the live stream can never.
So yeah, they're doing good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to see it, because I remember watching these guys before they started doing a lot of the stuff that they're doing now, back when they were first making weird animated videos when I was in high school.
Yeah, I read the, I watched a video about the kind of history basically the lore behind Smiling Friends, where I guess they would, Zach and Michael would get together on a stream and basically just pitch an idea for an animated TV show and start doodling out character designs. And this was, they never made the show, but they would always just throw ideas out there and like suggest, oh, the character could look like this, character could look like that. And then during one stream, they start pitching Smiling Friends. And then when they're done, they're like, oh, by the way, you can actually go watch this show right now on Adult Swim in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's how it came to be.
I loved the restaurant they were in the Professor Psychotic episode. I love that as a concept. They just got the fucking things flying around. You just grab them and just fucking murder the thing right on your table and they eat its guts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like fucking peanut shells in a barbecue restaurant. So like you just throw it on the ground.
In its flow, one cannot return to that from which one did not arise. And so our souls
little things
sought
like that in the
refuge
universe that make it feel
here.
lived in.
Idleness brought no solace. Our days, a penance imposed by the planet.
Like the six-armed guy who works at Office Crap, like things like that. And nobody thinks it's weird that that guy has 6 arms. It's just a normal thing.
If you don't finish stocking those, you're going back to the insane asylum. Yeah, have fun, Spider. Yeah, get the fuck out of here, normal armed guy.
From the planet, we claim.
Thanks for getting me in trouble, you two-armed piece of shit.
A most sacred treasure, and imbued it with our desire for freedom.
Look, asshole. Asshole? Did you just call me an asshole? Yeah, because you're being an asshole.
After an eternity, the materia began to stir, and thus did we rejoice, knowing that salvation was within our grasp. We rejoiced, so convinced were we that our prayers for
Dude, I am
release
warning
had
you
not
right
been in
now.
vain.
If you keep screwing around, bad shit is going to happen.
It's just like, what?
Yet the loathsome Cetra trespassed upon our lands and stole the treasure that would grant us deliverance. Therefore, we ask that you retrieve it, the black materia, key to our oblivion. Please, it alone can liberate
Tom
us
Brady's
from this endless
game-worn
dream.
pants from his final NFL game
The key
sold for
cannot rest
$89,000.
until our sacred treasure has been restored.
What would
to
his
us.
Why?
underwear have sold for, I wonder?
Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm all like, how much does fucking
In
jockstrap
redressing
go
the
for? Why
crime
would you
of our
buy
ancestors, the
fucking
Cetra
Tom
may help
Brady's
us to let
pants?
go our ancient grudge.
What?
Where is it?
It is said the orb lies within a place of Cetra worship.
A place of Cetra worship? Or temple?
You know what?
I have an idea. At least, I think I do.
Forgive me, Hollow One, if I regard you with suspicion.
Now hold on there. I'm
I
fed
think
to
he's
one
gonna
and all.
stay
Thanks to
retired
my
this
crystal
time.
ball. No matter your need.
Yeah,
have
I
the
think
right
it's too
read.
late for him to consider doing much of anything else.
He's strange, but you can trust him. Really.
What if he decides he wants to be the oldest halfback of all time? So he just comes back and he says, alright guys.
Alas,
It'd be like Bill in
appears
that
we
King of
have
the Hill
been
episode.
discovered.
Exactly.
I trust you will return our materia to its
Just tear your
rightful
bicep
home.
at the beginning of the play.
Only you
Doesn't
can
have
end
anything to
our
do
torment.
with your bicep and it just tears anyway.
I mean, honestly, the last time Brady was in the league, he wasn't playing that well. Why would you come back and leave
we're
everyone
back?
with this bad taste in your mouth of
Yeah.
you being garbage?
Like how Peyton wisely retired after winning that Super Bowl. Was the whole reason that he went to
We need
Denver in
to
the
get
first
moving.
place. But he legit looked like absolute shit in his last season. It was like, thank God we won it, because I wasn't coming back. Like,
They wouldn't want me back.
I'll make you proud, Dad.
fucking
Just wait.
noodle arm? Holy shit.
The thing was, even that year when he had no arm strength whatsoever and generally played like shit, he still led the league in fourth quarter comebacks and game-winning drives. His ability to get it done at the end of games was still just superhuman. It didn't make sense. Because, like, it should have been so easy to shut him down in those situations where you know he has to throw the ball, he can't lean on the running game or anything.
It's good
But
to see you again.
he kept getting it done. It was bizarre.
Allow me to escort you to fellow Bugenhagen.
It was like the anti-Tua.
Please, this way.
Well, Tua kind of has a noodle arm, too, if we're being honest here.
That's why I said he was the anti-Tua, is because they're the exact same guy, but they play different. Play opposite. I'm still really not looking forward to, like, after this upcoming season, when the Dolphins have to pay Tua, so then Miami is going to have the worst contract in the NBA and the worst contract in the NFL at the same time.
There's no way Harrow's the worst contract in the NBA. There has to be somebody worse. There's always, like, some ungodly max contract to somebody like Amari Stoudemire with no knees.
Did no one else sense him?
Well, that's the thing, is like, you can sit there and say, for sure, Jordan Poole is getting paid, I think, more, let me see.
Yeah, he got 140. 4 years, 140.
After the black materia too?
Probably. Better to assume he is.
Well, come on. Let's go.
No, Jordan Poole's making the same amount of money as Hero.
So, Kate Sith, I gotta ask.
Yeah,
how do you
this
know about the Cetra
season,
Temple
he actually
anyway?
made less, because Hero's getting 30 million. Poole's contract is 27, 30, 32, 34.
Not directly, anyway.
So you tired of Hero's contract?
Supposed to mean?
I just recall some document or other discussing its
Hero got
existence.
4 years,
If we can get to a
120.
Shinra terminal, I should be able to find it again.
Terminal, huh? They set any up here?
I think so? But I bet old Boogie will know for sure.
Okay, well, he's basically making the same. This is like a tiny little bit less than Jordan Poole.
I think Poole's probably a worse player, though, is kind of what I'm thinking.
Yes, and that's actually what makes him not the worst contract. Is yeah, he's a worse player. But who's he playing for?
That's true.
He's playing for the Wizards who are rebuilding and they want to stop. They gotta pay somebody.
After all,
And they weren't going to get a big free agent anyway. They pay Poole, and he actually becomes the tank commander because he's such a useful piece of
Shinra
shit.
should have set up a transmission terminal here in
The Heat
Cosmo
are trying to win a
Canyon,
championship, and Hero's bogging them
where
down.
is
If it was reversed and Hero was on the Wizards and Poole was on the Heat, it would be the other way. The talk, because when you've got the guy that's playing like that and is getting paid that much, sucking down that much of your cap space, when you want to compete, awful. When you don't want to compete, okay.
But now it serves a decidedly more.
So it's got to be the worst, because for a team that's actually trying to compete, I don't think anyone else who's trying to win a championship is paying a guy who is a worse player
A temple, you say?
and
If you
is
mean a
dragging the
place where
team
they
down that
worship
much
gods,
and is
none
getting
exist.
paid that much.
The Cetra never engaged in such practices.
I didn't know that.
Maybe it was referred to as such by someone ignorant of their
Other than like
culture.
Jason Tatum.
If instead it is a site of importance to the Cetra that you seek, texts do speak of one, and of the pains taken to conceal it.
So, it does exist?
Perhaps, though I know not where it is. Huh? And even should you find it, I would urge caution. They were a star-crossed people. To follow in their footsteps is to court tragedy. However, the rewards may yet outweigh the risks.
But
You must bring
regardless
every
of
one of your senses
arguing
to bear.
whether or not Hero's the worst contract in the
For then
NBA,
no secret will...
I do love how before it's even happened, we both just accept that Tua will be the worst contract in the NFL.
Be right back, guys. Okay, we are back. Not too much longer tonight, but I am still here for now.
Elude you, however well hidden.
Neat.
And when you return home, I hope you'll share your discoveries with me.
Fellow Bugenhagen!
What is it? I'm a little busy here.
Another man in a black robe has come. What should we do?
Well now, a friend of yours?
Where'd you see him?
Oh, the village gate.
We should check it out.
Yeah.
The workings of our planet are most fascinating, no?
Blessings of the planet be upon you. Are you in need of guidance?
So, who are the Lakers going to get now? Like, it already feels like they turned down JJ Redick. So they go back to Redick and they're like, hey, we know we said we didn't want you, but now we want you.
Rather weak.
I truly cannot say what is funnier to me.
And this isn't it.
The guy that they went all in on turning down a humongous bag to coach the Lakers, or Darvin Ham teaming up with Glenn in Milwaukee.
Ah, of course.
Bucks fans have to
Nibelheim
be
has a
on
terminal.
suicide watch
I bet
after
my
that one, bro.
whiskers on it.
Like,
It, had a terminal.
And it all could have been
Remember when you
prevented if
told
both
Keen and
teams
Tack
just
back there
kept the
that I might be
perfectly
weird,
fine
but you
coach
can
they
trust
had.
me? Aye, well, even if you were lying, I'm gonna prove to you that you can trust me. That I'm on your
yeah,
side.
both teams fired a coach that they
It's not
won a
bad.
championship with for no fucking reason whatsoever, and if they just kept the guy that coached their championship-winning team, they'd be perfectly fine right now. Instead, exactly like you said, it's a mess.
From here?
In fairness, after what Frank
There's no
Vogel
roads
called
you can take, far
LeBron
as
after
I
he
know.
missed a game-winning layup, they kind of had to fire him.
Like, he became the most popular man in LA. He should have had a
Meaning
job
we'll
for
need
life.
Smoke.
For standing up
Right
for
then.
truth
Back
and
to the
justice.
airstrip we go.
Standing up against the tyranny of LeBron.
Cloud. Proto-relic energy
I went to
signature
that
No,
game,
after what
David.
Wilson
and
called
relatively
the
close
honest,
to you.
you know.
While the signal is on the weaker side, it may serve as a good place to start.
I think it's a
I'll
franchise
send you the
cornerstone to do
coordinates
that
right
kind of
away.
thing, you know? Ridiculous. So important to their identity as a franchise, I heard a rumor that they were planning on renaming the team.
Beneath our veil, bound and stout.
How the hell do I get over there? Wait, this has got to be better, actually. Brain. Engineering. Yeah, the Braves are toast, huh? The heck is going on? Honestly, the rotting Pim meme could apply pretty well to the Braves right now, given expectations versus results.
Let's do this.
Yeah, which I think is going to go poorly. I don't think anything can fix that team.
Yeah. Exactly. It's dog shit construction. What they've done, they've ruined any chance they can compete. Because they made the finals once, so they thought, all right, that's it. This is our time. Let's go. And it's like, but then you guys got rid of almost every reason that you made the finals in the first place. Why did you think that was going to make things better? If Kevin Durant was enough to get you to the finals by himself, he wouldn't have needed to literally sign with the dynasty in Golden State Warriors in order to win a championship. Nothing about the construction of the team makes any sense. I mean, yeah, I definitely wish I had Durant on my team. He's an all-time great, you know. It's not like that's a bad pickup, but having him doesn't automatically equal championship, especially not when you've devastated your entire bench. They thought Bradley Beal was the missing piece? Because, like, they already had Durant before they fucked everything up.
I think if they just went with Booker, Durant, and then a bunch of role players and stuff, it would have worked. But they gave that all up to get Beal.
Piece of cake.
Go on!
Like, they weren't far away from having the right idea.
Right, you know. Booker and Durant, that really nice deep team that you had that helped you get to the finals in the first place. And then if you weren't competitive enough, and instead of making a big dumbass trade where you sacrifice a ton of your assets, try to get somebody in free agency. You know, like, boy, it sure would be nice if you guys had the cap space to go after Siakam. That might help. You know, if they still had all the fucking role players that they got rid of.
You're up. I'll show you.
Now the cap's big enough.
Let's do this.
They'd have been able to do it.
And their owner gives $0 about money.
You're mine.
Right. It's definitely the guy's just not taking it long enough. He wants a championship now, so that people take him seriously and he can show people, look, I'm a serious owner. I got us the ring. But it's hard to win. And he sacrificed the future to do it. And you should only do that on a sure thing, which this was anything but.
Let's do this.
They're fucked for like 15 years now.
No time to celebrate.
Right now. The Nets right now are just barely starting to get out from under the mess that Billy King left them in when he made the trade to get KG and Pierce. That was 10 years ago. Took him 10 years to recover from that. And recover is relative because all they do is have a guy that could take them out, you know, in the right direction. But everybody just looks at him as being like, oh man, we got to trade for that guy. And everybody keeps talking like it's a done deal, he's gone anyway. Like, it took them so long to recover that the Knicks became more relevant than them again. Tried with attempted KD, Kyrie, Harden super team, which if it worked out would have been great, but like none of those guys were healthy enough to play together at the same time. Tragic.
Well, if KD's foot was half a size smaller, they might win the title that year. I don't know. The margins are thin.
And that's why it's hard to win, is because it doesn't take much to derail something.
Look! That's gotta be Apony!
Anyway, I saw a trailer for this game that's already on Steam called Pool Cleaner Simulator. I was like, what the hell? So I look at this. The game is literally just, we've got power wash at home. I'm just like, this is insanely lazy. You hate to see it.
Speaking of which, when's the last time Power Wash had new DLC or new maps?
They did add a new DLC I was very interested in a couple of months ago. But it coincided with a lot of stuff happening where either you were like, I'm focusing on this, or I was like, I'm focusing on this. So if they're waiting for us, it was a Warhammer 40k themed pack that they put a lot of effort into.
Warhammer?
And yes, I think they also did something in addition to that, but I'm not sure. We'll check it out in a minute.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see what I'm supposed to do. Okay. So why is Zavala still on this team? Why is Zavala still here if Garver's the backup catcher? Seems like a colossal waste. Oh shit. Hell, call Class A up. At least he can, like, pinch run and steal bases and stuff. I know Class A is not good, but at least he can do something of value. I can't imagine Zavala having any value to this team right now. What pride flag is that?
I don't know what country that flag is, but the women there sure are fucking ugly.
Yeah, Arias too. Yeah. You know, Locklear does not look lost up there at all, I don't think. I think Locklear actually looks pretty good. I'm not going to say, you know, we need to go crazy with this, but he does not look overwhelmed right now. I don't know when they're going to release Rebirth on PC. Say yay. I think they usually wait a couple years.
Hopefully never.
I am guessing. I mean, they usually wait a couple years, so I wouldn't expect it anytime soon. You just cost us the championship.
No, Oscar, you don't understand. She's actually 4,000 years old. That's so much worse, you Shinji. Oh. I guess I have to sneak up behind it or something. Oh, everybody. I'm going to be the money president. I'll show that Mr. Frog an ergonomic plan. There we go.
Easy, girl. We got you. Just hit me. You don't get sick on Chocoback.
Amazing, isn't it? It's like my chocobo and I share one mind. One body, one soul.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe my body just hates Shinra cars, trains, and boats. They ought to find a way to make the right.
Yeah, I would love to move on from France
Think they
and
got
get
other
somebody with a little more upside.
That's true.
Spring, eh? Shall we have a wee shift, eh?
I have a really bad feeling about trading for Pete Alonso. I feel like he'll come here and strike out, like, at a 55% rate or something. Like, it'll be something really fucking putrid. Okay, I have a line with that kind of humor, and I did not find that funny. You know, that joke really feels like a Norm Macdonald joke, doesn't
Kinda
it?
in a rush, so...
Not just because it's about, like, Jared Fogle, but the way in which it very directly addresses something considered inappropriate and taboo.
That'll do.
Let me handle this. There! Come on! Hot stuff!
I just like when Charlie got all mad.
Come on! Go! Ha! Good luck. I'll take care of it. Can you take over for
My
me?
turn.
But I'm old enough to remember when South Park did an episode about Jared Fogle, back when he was just the subway guy.
Yeah.
Of the guy
I
outside
love that
the
episode. Because I had
has
AIDS.
AIDS.
Yeah.
Right. That was great. Everyone's like, what can I do to lose weight? I think you should get AIDS. I think everyone who wants to lose weight should get AIDS. AIDS really helped me lose weight.
I used to make that joke with Alex Smith because back when the Niners had Vernon Davis and Michael Crabtree, I would say, well, you know, Alex Smith, he's become a better quarterback because he has VD and Krabs.
Gotcha. Going in. Let's finish this. I'll end this.
Not bad, but not my best.
I mean, he could be like Teoscar, though, David. Like Teoscar's kind of like that, and Teoscar was not the same guy here.
Hey, you know when the teams run out of their, like a giant-sized version of their team's helmet, and then they hit the field running out that way? Since it's like a big hole, and you're running onto the field in glory. Alex Smith, you know, alongside his VD and Krabs, he calls that the glory hole. Taste.
Oh, I should have known it from the very start. She would leave me with a broken heart. Now listen, people, what I'm telling you. You keep away from a runaround Sue.
Oh, look, Charlie. What, are you serious? I see worse stuff than this on the internet.
I love kids. Alright, guys. I think that's going to do it for tonight. I will see you guys, well, later today.